Hi Pisces, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Virgo and Pisces on Saturdays. Oop. But like I was saying, if you guys are interested in the deck that I'm using today, it's called the Gilded Tarot, and normally I don't usually take cards that come out in like groups of 3 or more, but I'm going to go ahead and take these cards because it felt right. But I do just want to let you guys know that in case you're interested in a personal reading, my information is in the description below. And I think that's about it. Everything that's important. So, I should let you guys know that in case you enjoyed the reading, the best way to let me know is by leaving a like or a comment. But your overall energy here is the Five of Wands. So, when I see the Five of Wands, I think of one of two things. Either you guys are dealing with a lot of conflict or you're dealing with a lot of sort of competition. So what does that look like for a lot of you guys? I think that for some of you guys, it could be that you're dealing with competition in love. It may very well, sorry, I'm just kind of like shifting the cards back and forth. But now that I think about it, the fact that I'm feeling like the need to go back and forth with the card placement almost makes me feel like you guys are feeling the need to go back and forth between like what you are trying to do, right? Because I see this High Priestess in reverse, and this tells me like that you're kind of your heart is set on a decision, and then perhaps some new information comes out and your intuition says no, keep doing what you wanted to do, and then you kind of make a head over heart decision, and then it turns out your intuition was right. And then the next time you say, no, I'm going to listen to my intuition for sure. And then you do the same thing, and you're kind of stuck in this cycle where you're not listening to yourself or your body. I'm also getting like the imagery of, this is really weird. This is really crazy. But I'm getting kind of like a flashback to one of those Planet of the Apes movies. And it was like a scene in the winter. And I feel like this will make sense for someone out there. But I'm getting that, like, something to do with the cold or the snow. So, I don't know, perhaps you guys are feeling like an ice queen right now. Either way, I feel like that'll make sense to someone. And if it makes sense to you, then this reading is definitely for you. But what I was saying is that I want to keep talking about this Five of Wands energy. So like I was saying earlier, the Five of Wands talks about competition. And oftentimes I think it has to do with competition in love. So I feel like that's what's going on here. You guys are having to deal with all around energy here where you're being compared and, you know, competing with other people. And I don't think that's cool, to be entirely honest. Like, I think you guys, if you're not okay with the situation that you're in, you should try to leave it as fast as possible. Obviously, that's not always possible, but, you know, you should look at your resources as much as possible. But that's just for somebody who thinks that they should leave the situation. I feel like for the most of you, you don't want to leave in the situation. And for some of you, I feel like this is your ideal situation is just a matter of working out the final kinks, because you have your Nine of Cups and your Ten of Wands in reverse. So it's very interesting to me that there's kind of like this conflict and this heavy energy, even though you have the Ten of Wands in reverse. Like, it feels like this person that you're with kind of gives you a headache, but at the same time, they lighten your load. And I don't feel like it's that way in like, okay, a couple things. For one, when I just said lighten your load, I got that in like a sexual sense. So I'm definitely picking up on someone's sexual energy. Like, this person is very much like a very sexually in tune person, and I feel like that's helping you heal in a lot of ways. And I know that the way I'm kind of verbing this, it sounds like you're staying with this person for sex or for like financial or whatever, but it doesn't feel bad. It feels like this person is just like they have to get things off their chest, and they have to be honest, and they have to be kind of open with their opinion. And that's why you have sort of this this Five of Wands. It feels like they kind of like one of those people that likes to argue with for fun almost, but it doesn't feel like an argument. Like, it doesn't feel toxic. It just feels like they need sort of that debate, that like exchange of ideas, that mental exercise. So certainly if you're okay with that and if it's healthy, then more power to you, more power to them. But either way, I'm seeing here with the Nine of Cups that this person feels like your wish fulfillment. That's what the Nine of Cups card is. It's wish fulfillment. It's achieving your dreams. Like, this person looks like a baker, and or even like a winemaker. I don't know what the exact name for that job is, but it feels like this person is really working towards that, and they're happy, and they have sort of their dream business. And then this person comes along and gives you this Ten of Wands where they're helping you and they make you feel good and everything is kind of working out well, but you're not listening to your intuition, right? So I think that first and foremost, no matter what, like regardless of if you're dealing with a job or if you're dealing with a person, you could be dealing with like a can of soda for all it matters. You need to listen to your intuition. And if you guys aren't listening to your intuition, then you're not going to really make choices that align with your higher self and the choices that are going to make you happiest in the long run. Because I see this Ace of Cups, this is happiness. This is love. This is a new beginning in love. But it's going to be blocked if you're not listening to your intuition, because your intuition is going to be what takes you here. Notice that she looks like she's almost diving into this cup, right? But she's in reverse. So you need to really be in this energy of listening to yourself, listening to your body, paying attention to what you feel, right? Because I feel like a lot of you guys are kind of pushing it off to the side in favor of this sort of my brain knows better kind of cold, calculating approach. And I don't feel like that's going to work out for you guys, because at the end of the day, your feelings are just as important as your sort of logical. Like, sometimes we make the choice that we're going to be happiest with and not the one that's necessarily perceived to be the most logical. And it's no coincidence that we have the Queen of Swords here in reverse, and then the Queen of Cups, right? So the Queen of Swords came out in reverse with this High Priestess. So it tells me that if you guys are being far too dependent on your logic, you're going to make like choices that seem like the logical choice, but because you're not factoring in how you feel about it, you're going to be depressed, unhappy, unmotivated, dissatisfied with your choices in the long run, and that's going to be a bad choice, right? Those things, that's an important metric to base your decisions off of. And look, you have the Seven of Wands. I can't make this stuff up. Like, the Seven of Wands is the worth fighting for card. And this tells me that both you and your relationships and your goals are worth fighting for. I know I said both and listed off 3 things, but it's worth fighting for. You and your interests are worth fighting for. And I think that if you sort of like say, oh, well, my feelings are dumb and they're not worth fighting for, I'm just going to put them off to the side and make decisions with my head, right? Like, it's not going to work out in the future, right? And I'm seeing this energy here of like, this energy feels very mirrored, because we have the High Priestess in reverse with the Ace of Cups, and then we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse with the Queen of Cups, right? So this to me feels very mirrored. It feels like the same situation that I outlined here, but instead of your intuition, it's your inner feelings, right? And I'm getting this especially heavy for the Pisces men out there. Like, I feel like as a man, you have sort of this predisposition to not listen to your feelings because of like the societal conditioning. But you need to learn to have a healthy conversation with your own feelings. Because if you make choices that you're not happy with, and I cannot stress this enough, and that's why I've been repeating it the entire reading, if you make a choice based off of, I've been taught that this is better, I've been taught that I need to think this way, you're not going to be aligned with that choice, and it's not going to be something that's enjoyable, something that's good, something that makes you actually care about anything. And, you know, like, if that's going to be the life that you're living, then what's the point, right? And Pisces get a lot of bad flack because you guys are sort of the sign of escapism, right? You guys tend to be very escapists. So I don't want you guys to kind of put yourself into a situation where you feel like you're trapped and you like have to turn to alcohol or like drugs or something to actually feel okay, right? Because when we have sort of those escapist behaviors, they kind of stem from a bigger overall problem. So I think that if you guys make choices that take you to a life that you want to have, you know, and obviously it's not that simple, right? Like there's so much more that goes into it. But I really do feel like if you are already in a position in life where you are happy, you're not going to need to sort of escape that kind of life, right? And like I said, it's a lot more complicated than that. But for the purposes of this reading, like if you follow your heart, and I know as cheesy as that sounds, but if you listen to yourself and you do the things that will make you happy in the end, you won't need to sort of go back and play catch up with this Ace of Pentacles, because the Ace of Pentacles, when it is in reverse, it tells us that whatever we're doing is unstable, and that's going to lead to the tower crashing down, right? And it's like, I can tell you right now that if you don't have this stable foundation from the beginning, and it's great that this Ace of Pentacles is here, but it's in reverse, telling us that there's that instability. But like I said, if you can manage to listen to your emotions and create a healthy dialogue between you, yourself, and other people, then you're going to have that stable foundation, and your tower isn't going to come crumbling down later. And I feel like probably all of this is also another reason why this conflict is happening. So if you're not okay with the conflict and it doesn't feel good and it's not necessary, then for sure, try to get to the root cause, which I feel like is you guys not really listening to yourselves, right? And like, this is definitely a reading for someone out there who hasn't been listening to themselves or their intuition, right? So I'm here to tell you that it's okay to feel, it's okay to listen to yourself, and it's okay to do choices that may not be the most quote unquote logical if they bring you the most happiness. But that was your reading for summer around Pisces. I sincerely hope from the bottom of my heart that you guys get to where you want to be. But that was your reading first time around. And if you enjoyed, please leave a like or a comment, because it really helps out the channel. And I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new Pisces videos on Saturdays. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.